Hello everyone, Amit from Ecovisionnaire. Continuing with my most expected topic series, today I have government budget for you. I hope you have watched my videos on national income, money and banking, and theory of income and employment. Government budget is for 6 marks in boards. It is an easy chapter. So, 4 topics you have to cover to answer most of the questions in boards. The first important topic which we have today is objectives of government budget. Our book covers 5 objectives of government budget. So I just list 5 for you. First is redistribution of income and wealth. Second is reallocation of resources. Then we have economic growth. Then we have economic stability. And then managing of public sector undertakings. The most important ones are, of course, the first two, redistribution of income and reallocation of resources. So both of them are using subsidies and taxes. So students have sometimes they get confused. So it's very easy, students. If they're talking about bridging the gap between rich and poor, your answer should be redistribution of income and wealth. So when free things are given to the poor and rich, the things consumed by rich are being taxed more. So it is redistribution of income. Whereas when you encourage or discourage certain kind of goods or services, then that comes under reallocation of resources. Having high taxes on tobacco or having more tax on alcohol is reallocation of resources. Giving subsidies to EVs, electric vehicles, is also reallocation of resources. Economic growth talks about increasing GDP, increasing output, and economic stability is controlling the situation of inflation or deflation. So that is how you identify the objectives of government budget. So first two are the most important ones. Coming to the very easy part, that is classifying the following as revenue or capital receipts or revenue or capital expenditures. These are the only things you have in a government budget. Inflows are called receipts and outflows are called expenditure. So it's very easy to understand where we have asset or liability status disturbed. It can either be a capital receipt or a capital expenditure. And when there is no asset liability involved, it is revenue nature. So how do you give the reason? And mind it, you have to give the reason when you classify. So example, if the question is asked, what kind of receipt is GST? So you have to write it is a revenue receipt and tax revenue receipt, and why this receipt is neither creating a liability nor reducing an asset. Similarly, when there is a question on recovery of loan, so when you recover loan, the money comes into the account. So recovery of loan by the central government is inflow. Inflow means receipt. It's a capital receipt because loan given was asset created. So when you get the loan back, that asset gets reduced. So when you talk about capital receipts, assets are reduced or liability increased. And when you do capital expenditure, your liability is reduced or asset is increased. So this confusion has to be clear. So second important topic is classifying expenditures or receipts. Coming to third, very easy. You have to know the meaning of all these deficits. And also there's a chance that you're going to get a 3 or 4 marker numerical. So mostly the most important one is calculating fiscal deficit. And here I'll explain you one more thing. If there is something missing in the question, say capital receipt is missing, and you have to calculate fiscal deficit or capital expenditure is missing. So if one of them is not given, you have to take borrowings as fiscal deficit. So there you can easily understand that borrowing is given, so that is the fiscal deficit. Coming to the last important question, students, is asked many times in boards, is fiscal deficit always inflationary? Because fiscal deficit leads to borrowings, and borrowings when spent creates demand, so it is inflationary or not always. So your answer should be that is not always inflationary. If it creates additional consumption demand, it is inflationary. If it is there to boost the infrastructure and it increases the supply, then it's not inflationary. So that answer you can learn properly. So these 4 topics you have to cover to answer most of the questions in government budget. Coming to the test part. So if you want to give these small tests, you can just download our Ecovisionnaire app, and also we have uploaded many worksheets there of various subjects. And if you have any doubt regarding the topics, you can just WhatsApp me on 9891203546. I'll be back with balance of payment in foreign exchange next. If you like the video, please share with your friends and do subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much. All the best for your board exams.